Hey, welcome back. So, talk a little bit more about therapy. And I guess tomorrow when I do the vlog, I'll talk about the book club more, because that was the big thing, obviously, that I did this week. I like when it does this, right in the middle. Looks like it's going to the right. Nope. Okay. So I had some notes that I wanted to talk to her about, and I did. About going to this board game thing. Oh, did I say book club? I meant board game. And she's like, do you like it? Does it make you happy? Or whatever. And I'm like, well, there's still something missing, I told her. And she told me, obviously, what it is you're not connecting. You're still not connecting. You're going, but you're not connecting. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm never going to connect. and she kind of says, well, keep going, and you'll do it eventually. I have no connections, obviously. Like, I have no inherent joy. It's just, go to the board game thing. Okay, now it's just my thing about, like, distractions and keeping busy. Like, am I happy or am I just busy? Am I happy or am I just happy that I'm not happy? Then that's not enough. You need inherent joy, and my inherent joy has to come from human connections. I think if I ever do make some kind of a real connection, maybe it might feel better than like when other weirdos and like the normies do it, because they do it all the time. But like if I did it, I'd be like, oh wow, you actually did it, good for you, and it would feel better. So maybe that's why I put so much like emphasis on it. And other people like, oh, if I went to space, that would be my whole life's work, and that would give me inherent joy, like, because I went to space. But if I went to space, I'd be like, oh, it's cool, but who cares? I didn't make a friend in space. I don't know. I was thinking more, I really like should I say it again? I don't know. My Michael Collins analogy about dating and stuff. Because the dating stuff really was bothering me this past couple weeks. Like, nobody is freaking liking me on the stupid freaking apps. I didn't match with anybody. Nobody even liked me in like the past month. And I'm still swiping, like, once in a while. Not as much as I used to, but I'm still trying. The therapist said I should keep trying, so I'm gonna keep trying. I don't know. One frustrating thing about therapy is like it always seems so easy in the abstract. Like, oh, like just be yourself on the app and just talk and match and just wait and you'll find your right person. And like if it were only so easy. Like, that makes sense in a perfect world, or like in a vacuum of all emotion and humanity, but it doesn't. It's still like, I'm not matching with anybody. What's wrong with me? Nobody likes me. And I didn't care about it before because... So I wanted to extend the analogy to like... When Michael Collins was preparing for the Apollo 11 mission, the NASA people came to him, and they were like, hey, Michael Collins, like, we have this really cool mission. We're going to go to the moon. You want to go? And he's like, oh, my God, yeah. And they're like, the one thing is, like, you're not actually going to get to walk on the moon. You'll just be in the craft around it. And he's like, I don't care. Like, it's such a big honor to be on this mission. What's going to be... Okay, not my car. I'm always worried it's my car. I have to memorize, like, my honk so I know when it's my car and when it's not. So Michael Collins is like, yeah, no worries, man. I'll go on the mission and it'll be... I don't care. I don't have to walk on the moon. No big deal. And he doesn't care. He really doesn't. He genuinely feels that way. Then time comes when they're in the space and he's looking right at the moon and he sees his buddies, Buzz and Neil. They're on the moon. They're in the buggy. They're playing golf. They're having fun. They're laughing. And he's like, I really wish I was on the moon. This sucks up here. I'm doing this stupid... I want to be a part of it. And that's how I feel. I want to be... I never cared before about being a part of it because it was so distant. Oh! I'm reading a new book. And there was something in that book that reminded me... Did I write it down? I didn't write it down, but... So... people upstairs. I don't care. I'm reading a book called Death's End, which is the third book in the trilogy... What's it called? Three-Body Problem. And he talks about this. And I guess this is a common thing. And I just never really thought about it before, and nobody's ever explained it to me before or something. But maybe it is like a really common thing where, yes, it's so distant. Like I was never in a relationship, and I never cared because it was so distant. Like I can't even talk to anybody, so I have so many other things to worry about. But now it is close. Like I'm on these apps. I went on a freaking date, so it's closer. I'm on the moon. I mean, I'm not on the moon. I'm in the spacecraft. I'm on the lander or whatever. And now I want to be on the moon, and I can feel the sadness of not experiencing it. Like you're so close and you can't, and that's what the sadness comes from, I guess. But so it's called Death's End. He literally explains that emotion, because there's this guy who he goes to college with this girl who's like this amazing girl, and everybody likes her, and she's like a bright ray of sunshine. And there was a sentence, I wish I had the book because then I could pull it up, but there's a sentence in the book where he's like, he says something like, oh, I'm sure the other guys who aren't with her or can't be around her or can't be in a relationship with her or whatever, I'm sure that's like painful for them, but for me it's not, because I see myself as like such a distant object to her. I think the metaphor he uses is like, I just like enjoying the warmth of the sunshine. She's like a nice spring day, and like I just enjoy the spring day, but the spring day isn't mine. I'm not sad that it's not like my spring day. So that's how I felt, I guess, kind of. Like, well, if I met somebody nice, I don't feel bad that, like, I'm not dating them or something, because it's not even possible for me, so why would I care? But now if I met somebody and I'm like, oh, she's really nice, like, oh, I want to date her or something. I don't know. Hasn't happened, but I might feel that sadness of like, oh, I want the sun for myself. I want this spring day. Can you really own a spring day? Whatever. Is that it for today? 2 minutes. Oh yeah, that was my note. I'm Michael Collinsing hard right now. Um, the more I'm around people, the harder it gets to talk because I'm stuck in the quiet box. I have other stuff, but I guess I'll save it for tomorrow. I could talk about the book, I guess. I don't have any notes about it, but there haven't really been any interesting concepts yet. I've only read it for like 2 hours, and it's just kind of setting stuff up. But it does, like, from what I've read about, like, reviews and stuff, it does a good job of, it keeps introducing new interesting ideas, and that was the thing that I liked about the other books. It's like the Sophon thing, and like the Wallfacer project, and the Mind Seal. Like, he just keeps coming up with these cool ideas for, like, futuristic. Oh, here was a cool idea. So he mentioned how in the future, when we have hibernation technology, everybody is going to want to be hibernated because they view the future as like some amazing paradise. Most people, right? Because all you have to do is look like, okay, what was it like 100 years ago? If you took somebody from 100 years ago and you brought them to today, they'd be like, this is a magic world where you can just cure cancer and you have as much water as you want and as much food as you want. This place is amazing. It's so much better than like when I was a peasant or whatever. And I was like living on a farm and dying from tetanus or something. So even if the future isn't like amazingly perfect, to us it will seem that way. So there was kind of a social paradox of like nobody wants to live in their current time because the future is always going to be better. But fortunately for the writer of the book, he doesn't actually have to answer this paradox because all he has to do is say, well, the whole premise of the whole book is like there's a war between the aliens and the humans. So then he's like, well, the war kind of subverts that paradox because people will say, well, maybe in 100 years, the aliens will just kill us. I guess you can kind of say that anyway, but I liked that idea of like you could say that now, like, oh, in 100 years, maybe an asteroid will kill all of us, and it won't be better. But I guess the idea is, like, most people don't think that way. I don't know if that's true, though. I think most people think, like, oh, global warming's going to kill everybody. But if everybody hibernated, maybe global warming would be better, but then who's going to power the hibernation pods? I don't know. You peggled it. You freaking peggled. It was funny. Oh, I have to end. Let's just try to finish this. The therapist was kind of telling me about this other girl that she's therapisting. And she's on dating apps. And she's like a supermodel. She's so amazing. She's like super good looking and she has these amazing Instagram pictures. And she's getting like hundreds of people liking her every day. That's kind of funny to think about. I can't even imagine what that's like. It must be bad. It must be like people only like me because like I'm good looking. This is so stupid. I don't know. But then like you get one like on the app and you're like, ooh, it's hard. It's like social media. Like when I was on Twitter and you would get a like and you'd be like, oh, I'm so smart and people like me. But I don't know. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye.